Salutations, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. V back with another casted game of Age of Empires 3, and we're on Anatolia for the second upload in a row. Sometimes that is how the cookie doth crumble, but hey, you could do worse than Anatolia. It's no pie map, I'll grant you, but it is a pretty stinking good map. You got 6 trading posts, count them. You got plenty of hunts, you got plenty of coin mines, and these are silver mines, so you know, they're not too bad, 2,000 coin each. So there is an abundance of resources on this map. It's all about control, and again, the TP line can be a huge economic boon to whoever decides to take it. But the main reason I picked this matchup is because finding a game with decent elo nowadays that is not Ottoman or Aztec or Spain or Germany or any of the power civs, guys, it's really hard. So when I saw this matchup, I didn't care where it was. I knew I had to cast it, and I'll tell you why, because you just don't see these two civs go head-to-head very often. So on the eastern half of the map, playing in the color blue as the Russians, we have Anubis 10. Now, Russia, they get a bad break. Okay, people see them as a garbage civ, and I do think they have some really tough matchups, but I still think they're a great civ. Okay, they've still got some really fun H2 play, and their H3 is not as weak as it was in vanilla. They do have options in H3, even though it's still not ideal. The long H2 is still kind of their bread and butter, but of course, Russia also scales very well into the late game. Okay, their units get even more cost effective. Their batch training with villagers gets even more efficient. So you gotta watch out for Russia in the early game and also in the late game, but they do have that kind of mid-game hump that they have to get over. Meanwhile, on the eastern half of the map, playing in the color red as the Swedish, we have Drizzle. And I don't know if I featured either of these players before. I've seen Anubis on the ladder a lot. I'm not super familiar with Drizzle, but going with the double Torp start as Sweden. And again, Sweden, one of those civs that gets a bad rap. Now, they do have a very strong H2. Well, okay, not a very strong H2. They have a decent H2, and they do have a much stronger H3, right? They have Jaeger play, they have upgraded Caroleans, and they have the Hack-a-Pellet spam, which is, you know, it's decent. It's not quite as strong as I think some people make it out to be, but it is quite good. And they have options in Industrial as well. They have some interesting revolts. So both of these civs, they are not at the top of the pyramid, but they're certainly not garbage. Come on, guys. Be nice to our northern civilization brethren. And meanwhile, both of these guys are aging up. Sweden is going up with the Naturalist, and Russia just clicking in with the Quartermaster. Let's take a look at the decks. Pretty standard deck for Russia. He's got upgrades. He's got resources. Ooh, 700 food. That's interesting. That's kind of a debated card, whether, you know, 700 food is efficient. I feel like with Russia, you can kind of get away with it because their early game food macro can be so hard because, again, things training in batches means you have to have all that food available right away. And so you have to have like these big piles of 500, 600 food available pretty much the entire game. And that 700 food can be a very big early boost. But otherwise, you know, you got Surovov reforms. That could be cute. You get all the Strelets masked up. You send that card in H3. Get them into veteran musketeers, and you just right-click on the town center. I love that build. I remember when Azank pulled that off back in the vanilla days. God, that was a fun build to watch. But we'll see. I'm guessing standard. Yeah, okay. I'm guessing standard H2 pressure, 5 Cossacks. Probably going to go with recruits, though. You could go with Strelets in this matchup if your opponent decides to plop down a barracks. Though Sweden in this matchup, I feel like the smart move is to go Hussar. I don't know why you'd go Carolean. It just gets countered by, you know, cost-effective recruits. And of course, Strelets are a hard counter. So yeah, go Hussar. But what? Drizzle's going with the church? Huh? Okay, so he's got the 2 cows. He's got the church. And he's sending Treaty of Roskilde? Roskilde? I still don't know how to pronounce that. Why is he sending the church? Oh, is he going for the Gustavian Guard? No, this guy is not going for veteran halves, is he? No way. I think he might be. Why else would he be getting that upgrade? Also picking up 90 coin. Nice job there. Though he might lose his explorer to Vasily Atloslov. I don't know. I can't pronounce Russian names. He's got all of his villagers on food currently, and there it is. Gustavian Guard is coming in, ladies and gentlemen. In case you don't know what this does, this gives you 16 veteran halberdiers, and they have a unique skin. Honestly, I don't really like the skin of the Gustavian Guard, if I'm being honest. They look kind of homely. Yeah, I would just prefer the regular halberdier skin, but you know what? I do like the flavor. And he's sending Push of Pike as well, which if I'm correct, I think that gives you like a speed boost to your halberdiers at the cost of training time. But they're going to catch these 5 recruits that have been made by Anubis. And what is Anubis doing in the meantime? It looks like, yeah, he sent 5 Cossacks. He went for that standard opening. But against the Gustavian Guard, these Cossacks and the recruits are going to be useless. These guys have 200 HP. They have 28 hand attack and 25% melee resistance in age 2. Ladies and gentlemen, not to mention 36 siege, this blockhouse is not going to be long for this world. And what is this Swedish villager doing over here? Normally you'd see Russian villagers here, and it looks like he pulled them back to start hurting, but 10 Strelets coming out of the blockhouse. No, they're not gonna get out in time! And that was beautiful timing by Drizzle. Probably not intentional, but it worked out that way. The 10 Strelets getting canceled, and it looks like Anubis is immediately putting down the emergency blockhouse in his base. He has the market, and he is now sending spice trade. Oh, that I don't like that one at all. You're sending spice trade? Dude, you need units. You need 13 Strelet, or heck, send 700 food at this point. Don't send spice trade. You have 4 villagers on food right now, dude. What are you doing? Blockhouse is going to go down here. Oh my God, these Gustavian Guard are ridiculous. Oh, get that blockhouse, get that blockhouse. Yes, it is going to go down. Minutemen now being called, and the Minutemen should do some cost-effective work here, but God, these guys, 28 hand attack, full HP Minutemen, sit down, son. And wow, are these guys getting so much value. And again, I really disagree with the call for spice trade. If he had 13 Strelets coming out right now, he would have already cleaned this up. But because he's gone for an eco upgrade, the Gustavian Guard are going to get out. And yeah, they did lose some of their units, but I mean, for the cost of 2 blockhouses and a lot of Vil Bell time, that was an excellent trade for Trizzle, and he looks like he's going to come back in. I mean, he knows there's really nothing to threaten him. Cossacks are raiding. Are they going to pick up a Vil? Yes, they are, but the Minutemen being called out, I think that might have been a bit of an overcommitment there by Drizzle. I don't think he really needed to call out the Minutemen. He did have a couple of Gustavian Guard there to ward them off, but it looks like all but 1 Cossack has been killed. So Russia, meanwhile, not able to make any units at all, and now he's sending 700 wood. He's going to need it. I mean, he needs to get down a blockhouse. He's only got 99 wood, and he just lost his market, so there is going to be no trading going on. Oh, he does have a blockhouse. Okay, he's got one hidden up north here. But yeah, I mean, these Gustavian Guard are just terrorizing Russia. And that's actually such a smart play because, you know, what is Russia weak against, you know, early? Well, they're weak against good hand infantry that will just wreck their Cossacks and their recruits. And that's exactly what the Gustavian Guard are. And they have gotten a lot of good engagements. If those 10 Strelets had gotten out on time, I think it would have been a much different story. But now the 10 Strelets are finally coming out, and they're going to be accompanied by 5 recruits. And what is Drizzle going to do as a follow-up? It looks like he's getting some market upgrades at the moment. He's already up to 160 Torp population. Holy crap! Oh my God, so a Gustavian Guard into a Torp boom. That is so awesome. Oh God, it makes me want to get on the ladder and try this build right now. And maybe it's not as good as he's making it look in this game. Is that like a legit build order? Gustavian Guard into Torp boom. Sweden players, let me know. Is that a standard build, or are we seeing something totally out of the box here? New shipment coming in. What is it going to be? He's got 1,200 coin. Holy crap, spend some of this, dude. He's actually going to age up. Oh my God, he's got so many resources. Those Torps are bringing in, they're bringing in food and coin hand over fist. Look at that. Look at how fast his resources are going up. At the 9-minute mark, the Sweden economy is booming. All right, the pickled herring, salted fish for everybody, okay? Swedish meatballs on the house. Eat as many as you want. Meanwhile, Strelets are sieging a Torp, and they're not really going to do much with that whopping 7 siege attack. And now the Gustavian Guard are getting committed. And these guys are on really low health, but they're going to take down a couple more Strelets with them. Oh my god, are they actually going to clean up all the Strelets? That would be hilarious. No, the final 2 Gustavian Guard are falling. And that is the end of the Halberdiers, but now Sweden is in H3. He's going to be able to send 2 Falks, 5 Hacka Pellets. He can make Hacka Pellets now. And it is looking very, very worrisome for Russia. I hope Anubis is macroing for an age up behind this. He is sending 700 coin. He's got most of his villagers on food. He is making the smart decision here. There's no way you can fight this in H2. You got to get up to H3 as quickly as possible. And he's making use of the army he has. He's getting down some of these Torps, and that is the way you are going to damage the Swedish economy. But right now, he's collecting so much wood that he's just immediately rebuilding them. And because these Strelets have such poor siege, he's not really going to be able to take out maybe more than 1 or 2 before Sweden responds. And look at that. He sent out the Savalax Jaegers. Here I was talking about Falconets and Hacka Pellets, but the Jaegers are actually going to be probably the best answer to this right now. Now, I guess maybe, you know, Anubis could be getting some Cossacks on the field, and he does have a stable. He is now producing Cossacks and going up to age 3 as well. But in comparison to the resource count for Sweden, the Russian economy has really not had a lot of time. Nice veil pick off there by Russia, but he really hasn't had a lot of time to truly build up his economy. He's at 30 vills right now, compared to 27 vills from Drizzle. But Drizzle is also ahead in his tech progression, and he's also still got 190 Torp population. And he is now sending, okay, so he already sent blueberries, and he's sending blackberries. Okay, and he did also send Dominions. He sent Engelsberg Ironworks. So, I mean, these Torps are working overtime. They're collecting 0.5 coin a second, 0.92 food a second. Absolutely ridiculous. And Hacka Pellets now out on the field, and Hacka Pellets and Jaegers, that is an apocalyptic composition for Russia to deal with. And let's see what Russia does in retort. He's continuing to build Strelets. He is continuing to make Cossacks. Now, he could get a good engagement here. The problem is none of these units are going to shadow tech for Russia. He's going to have to pay for veteran Cossack. He's going to have to pay for veteran Strelet. And the wood income, as well as the coin income for Russia right now, is really, really lacking. He's just now getting Gang Saw, just now getting Placer Mines. And yeah, it's going to take a while for this age 3 army to really, you know, get some teeth to it. And I don't think Sweden is just going to remain idle. More Jaegers coming out on the field. And yes, it is much smaller than the Russian army, but it is far superior in quality, much like the real Swedish army historically. Isn't that how it went? You know, when Russia and Sweden fought, Swedish troops were usually better, but Russia just had way more of them. I don't know. I haven't studied the Great Northern War in like years. But wow, that's 1, 2, 3, 4 barracks is coming out from Drizzle. And what has he got planned? He's going up to age 4 with the Papal Guard. Are you kidding me? He's getting veteran pikemen. This dude is about to spam pikes. Oh my God. Is he going to send, the, oh, there's the upgrade you can get that makes pikes way cheaper for Sweden. It only makes them worth like 20 food instead of 40. You still have to pay 40 wood, but you can get out so many pikes, and it buffs them as well. I can't remember what that upgrade is, if it's a card or if it's like a tech, but I think that's what he's going for here. It feels that way. He's getting up a bunch of barracks. He's getting up an arsenal. He's getting into H4. He's getting circular saw. Yeah, this dude is totally going pike spam, and I am absolutely here for it. Though, meanwhile, the Russian army has had a chance to get back on its feet. He's got veteran cav archers, no veteran C upgrades for his Cossacks or Strelets yet. I think that might be a bit of a mistake. I think at least get veteran Strelet so that they can match. I don't know. They're not going to be able to match with the Jaegers, but at least, you know, if the infantry like these pikes come out, your Strelets are going to be able to handle them slightly better. Meanwhile, Anubis sending 1,000 coin of his own. Veteran Strelette coming in, and love that. Oh no, this is veteran Streltsy? Is he going into Streltsy? Hold on a minute. No. Oh wait, no, Strelets is what they call Streltsy now, right? No, I'm so confused. What upgrade is he getting here? Also, he's putting down another blockhouse and another town center in the south of the map. Meanwhile, Drizzle is about to, no, he's already entered age 4. He's got a massive score lead, 2 heavy cannons, and he's quadruple making pikes, and these are the Dalkarl pikemen. And once he gets infantry breastplate, they're going to be, they're still pikemen, but I cannot wait to look at the stats of these guys. Pikes and heavy cannons. There is no way that Russia can cope with that in H3. And I think that's why Anubis is sending 1,000 coin. I think he's trying to get up to H4 himself. And still no veteran Cossack here. Okay, so veteran Streltsy is veteran Strelette. I was having an aneurysm, but it is past. Sometimes I feel like I know this game, and sometimes I feel absolutely clueless. But hey, that's just how life works, I guess. All right, let's take a look at the Russian army, the size of it. We're looking at 64 units for Russia, and we're looking at 23 units for Sweden. And now we've got the pikemen, 204 HP, 51 siege, 12 hand attack on a 60 resource unit. That is absolutely ridiculous. He is going to be able to spam these guys endlessly. And with the 2 heavy cannons, as long as he keeps these guys safe, Russia cannot fight this. These Strelets will be bowled over by just a couple of volleys from the heavy cannons. And now he's pushing in. Wait, what's this on the bottom of the map? He's got even more! And he's going right for the town center. And he's just going to brute force his way with 51 siege attack. And the veteran Cav archers, they're not going to be able to take these guys down quick enough. The Cossacks are going to try to get engaged, but that's a horrible matchup. Meanwhile, the other army, he's not even attacking the Russian army. He's just saying, screw your units, man. I'm just going to destroy your town. Right-click TC, game over, GG. And oh my God, the Russian army is panicking. Do you move north or do you move south? The pikemen moving away. Great micro by him. It looks like Anubis maybe trying to get out a couple of culverins, but there's no way he's going to get them out in time. And the cavalry are absolutely impotent. Second town center going down, and the villagers going down to the Jaegers as well. And oh my God, that's game. And what a build by Sweden. Oh my God, that was fun. That was so fun. Great block here by this group of pikemen. Nice micro by Drizzle. And God, poor Anubis, man. That was an unwinnable situation. How do you fight a horde of buffed pikemen, which are endlessly spammable, and 2 heavy cannons? And then Jaegers and Hacker pellets on top of that. There's just no way. I can't believe Russia got out-spammed by Sweden. Oh God, that's fantastic. Let's take a look at more of the details. Guys, follow me to the post game. All right, guys, here we are in the post game, and an insane resource advantage for Sweden. That is all due to the Torps, and don't tell me I'm wrong, because I am not. Military units, God, as Russia, if you're getting out unit created, you are cooked. 99 versus 120, 80 of those were the Dalkarl pikemen. And yeah, those guys were really cool to see, but dude, the Gustavian Guard, those were the MVPs. They did so much disruption to Russia's early macro that it really threw Anubis for a loop, and I don't really think he ever recovered, because I was watching his army, and it was just kind of aimlessly running around, sieging a Torp here, sieging a Torp there, and yeah, he just kind of felt on the back foot for the rest of the game after that Gustavian push. God, that was fun to see. Let's look at the timeline here, and we see the military unit count. Yeah, I mean, we're just seeing big spikes for Anubis here in the military unit count, but when we go to the military unit population, evens out quite a bit, and even starts to go highly in favor of Drizzle there towards the end. Villager population, both guys were actually doing a nice job raiding. I will hand it to Anubis. He was getting some nice effective raids with his Cossacks there. You see he picked off a couple here. Actually, no, it was just that one raid. And then we see, oh, no. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong graph. We see a raid here, and okay, so they both raided each other once. Never mind. The rating was not as good as I thought it was. But yeah, a really, really fun matchup. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll be back with more next week. But until then, have a great day. Have a great life. See you later.